the first 2 slides. Okay, I would love for you guys to just kind of introduce yourself, say where you're from, and kind of like why you're here, I suppose. What interests you? I can go first. My name is Ashley Thompson. I am an inspiring mom and entrepreneur. I love finding ways to network with people, connect with people, support people, and growing, basically. That's kind of why I'm here and why I'm excited to hear you speak. So, welcome. Thank you. Do you want to start this way? Don't go this way? You want to go this way?
I would love to start. So I'm Brent Schlungen, live here in Wilmer, and I started this business mastery because I want to be able to help other businesses learn some of the mistakes that I've gone through to make a little easier path for other local entrepreneurs.
Like it.
Perfect.
Thanks.
I'm Marky Rodriguez. I tattoo. I have my tattoo business in Spicer, Minnesota. I'm just here to kind of figure all the stuff out. Exactly what he said. I'm a new business owner, so I'm trying to figure everything out and network with people and build my business a little bit bigger.
Okay, I'm Sam. I'm from Grove City. I came because you talk all the time about how I hold myself back, and she's got all these ideas and stuff, and I never listen. I get in my own head and I get in my own way, and I'm tired of it. So it'd be cool to just network with people that actually I can learn from and stop holding myself back.
That's a good answer. So this topic today is like, yes, I mean,
that's the one.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just a
No, you are not.
chauffeur and bodyguard.
He
That's
is
what
also
I'm here for.
that, but you have to step into your business shoes now.
Which ones?
What do you do?
Which part?
Red Horse.
I have a publishing company. I'm an author. I'm a freelance legal researcher. Farmer, hunter, fisherman, trapper.
Slash bodyguard. We got this.
Bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's it. Did you say chauffeur yet?
I did say
Okay,
chauffeur. That was
good,
the
good.
first thing you
Like you
said.
do so much more.
I'm Krystle Greene. I am an Uber entrepreneur, disability advocate, speaker, author, co-founder of Red Horse Publishing, Strategic Success Network, and too many things to list. Good?
We're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, this is my little bit about me. Okay, like I said, I'm Ashley Thompson. I'm a mom of 4, fiance since 2022.
I can change that. I'm an ordained minister.
He's 17, October 4th of this year.
Okay.
I launched my business after a weight loss challenge. Actually, I lost 21 pounds, and I lost 21 pounds in 6 weeks. And that's where my business started. I opened up my shop officially in September of 2019. I don't know why I have a fun fact. I'm a college dropout.
Me too.
Look, building community and family is my passion, and I want to leave a legacy. These are my beautiful little humans. I also truly believe bringing my kids to work is going to show them that just the work ethics and stuff like that. I want them to be involved. So this is she's now 11. She came and set up a booth with me at Bridgewater College, and it was pretty great. And then they're all cute, so I'm like, I just needed to vomit up all these beautiful pictures of my babies and everything. So, yeah, that's me, Ashley.
It's perfect.
I got one more slide, and my handy dandy app. If you guys don't use ChatGPT, I highly recommend it. It's fabulous for you. Healthy Fusion. So, Healthy Fusion. Our mission basically is just to provide options and empower others. Sorry, I'm gonna look at this. By reclaiming their health, transform their lives, and provide personal guidance and ongoing support that lead into longer lasting results. As well as to provide a option of healthy fast food.
I like that.
And then having experience with our own results. That we're committed to helping and support others in their own journey. So. Specifically for me, I'm very much like go moms, go women. So I like really doing that. That's my connection. Like I want to be with moms. I want to be with other women to link arms and just do what's makes them feel good.
That's empowering. I love it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna hand it off to Brent. So we're gonna swap.
I'm clapping.
Hey guys, Brent Schlungen here. I'm a multi-business owner, so I own a party bus company, a trucking company. That kind of gives me the authority to talk a little bit about business, mainly because I made a lot of mistakes. So that's kind of why I started Business Mastery, is kind of give you guys just simple tools, kind of make it simpler, kind of avoid some of the headaches and stress, kind of what I've been through. But also kind of like Ash was saying, this is Ashley, we do this business together in the health and fitness world as well. And we got our beautiful wives, our children, so we have 4 kids. I'm ready for my next slide. I want to talk about 10x is easier than 2x. So I've been in business for 11 years now. I've always I grew up in a dairy farm, so I always learned to work hard and do things the hard way. I always thought if I just work twice as hard, I'll accomplish that much more. And so now I'm talking about, well, if you do things a little bit differently, you can actually save yourself the effort. So, and then this is off the book by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. So if you guys want to read the book, it's a really good one. I'm ready for my next slide. So kind of like the point is, in our I won't read all of it, but basically it's kind of what I was saying before, is and do these different things. I'm going to grow my business twice as much as I am right now. And basically the normal thinking is you're working twice as hard, or you're kind of running yourself wild to get 2x better. Well, if you just change things a little bit, kind of expand yourself, go past your boundaries that you've had before, you can actually 10x your business. So if you go to the next slide. So it's kind of changing your mindset a little bit. The power of thinking big, how we can, in the old ways, like how we achieve a 2x improvement, we're kind of doing incremental changes. We're working with the existing framework, and things are really not moving that much because you really have so if you can kind of stretch that a little bit and kind of shoot for a little bit more and realize maybe your previous system wasn't working for you. So be like, hey, if I can find different systems, if I can find different people that help me, or find different routes to work with this, that's how it's actually not that hard to 10x your business, because you're just shifting what you're previously doing. So in some ways, you don't know what you don't know. So it's kind of like rethinking what your thought process is, and before you know it, you could 10x your business without putting any extra effort into it. If I can get the next slide. So with the 10x goal, you're kind of challenging your assumptions. You're breaking what you're normally thinking, and you're kind of like starting over and working ground way up, and just in a different path. That's where you get your breakthroughs. It's kind of like when you think about different companies like Amazon, it's like they did something totally different that no one's thought about before. And it's just kind of like an example of like what you can accomplish if you're not doing the same thing everyone else is doing, and just finding ways to be creative and finding a different system to get there. So if you're going back to 2x, sometimes you're just kind of remaining in that same boundaries, and it really limits being creative and innovation, and that's why it kind of diminishes your returns on that. Do the next slide, please. And it's kind of blurry, but it's basically going where your focus goes, your energy will flow. So keep in mind on like where you bring your focus. Are you focusing on the right things? Sometimes with 10x, like maybe you want to skip out on the things you're doing right now. If you're watching too much TV, if you're doing these things are not benefiting you, and you put more focus on the 20% of your productivity, that can really change how you live your life, how you change your business, because you're focusing on the more important things, not like the whole bigger picture. So, well, that's what I got. Kept it short because we have a special guest speaker today, and her name's Krystle, and we'll bring her forward.
Thank you. Okay.
So, going on 10X, you know, just hearing what you're sharing there, and the truth is like, yeah, you really got to figure out if something's not working, and then putting your full effort into doing more, you know, and then in different strategies, like you were just saying. It really aligns with my whole life. I'm super ADHD, and I'm uber entrepreneur, which means I like certifications, and I like to learn new things, and I like titles over the years. But I didn't always feel, and maybe some of you can relate, like I was showing up as a CEO in my life, right? Like I would get a title, and yeah, I became a life coach, and then I started speaking, and I got a few speaking gigs, and then I lead teams, or I build teams with different strategies, open businesses, help corporate owners build business strategies, and I'd still leave those rooms thinking, what was I even doing in there? Was I even qualified to do what I'm here to do? You know, so you guys being business owners in different areas, and you guys having so many different businesses too, and just like in different ways, like they're all different genres, right? Or categories, you know, sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming to step into those shoes when that's not who you've always been, right? You didn't just like wake up one day you were a business owner, right? You decided, and then you had to decide, like Ashley, you know, you had to decide, women are the people I want to talk to. Women are who I want to empower, you know, moms, people like me, right? But then, even though you're a mom, you're a woman, so you're already qualified to do that. There's a lot of times where you step into those shoes and you're like, oh shoot, now I'm up here. Am I even qualified to speak about this? You know? And so today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. And I wrote this yesterday, so I brought notes. And so I might look down, and I am a disabled entrepreneur. I stutter a little bit. Sometimes I have tics, so we don't know what's going to present. If anything, it'll be funny. Just laugh if it happens. But I've been doing this a long time, almost 18 years in just industry leading in many avenues. I've worn many, many, many hats. That means I've been a resume writer, freelance resume writer years and years ago. I've done lots of multi-level marketing. I've owned businesses. I've owned my own cafe. I've helped businesses come from ground up. All of these things I was never qualified in my mind to do, right? I just showed up and did it, okay? And there's a lot of times over the years that, regardless of what that certification says on the wall, my mind was always telling me I'm not qualified to be here, okay? So today, we're gonna talk to the version of you that's been second guessing what you already know you've been called to do. Okay, and you guys, you've already talked about your businesses and why you started. You know, maybe we didn't talk about why you started, right? But and Ashley, you did a little bit. You know, you want to help people. You're on your own journey, right? And so we're going to talk to that version of you. I want to speak to the builder, to the dreamer inside of you, to the one that's been showing up, but secretly you're in your mind going, do I even belong in this room? And that internal dialect, that internal battle has a name, and that name is imposter syndrome. Let's be real, I just said this, right? I walked into rooms where I was entirely invited, like I was fully invited, I was qualified, I was anointed, I prayed to be in these rooms, and I still was like, do I even belong here? Do these people need to hear what I have to say? Have you guys ever been there? Yeah? Okay, I assumed. And it's not that you don't have the experience or the capacity or that you're not capable. It's just that voice in your head, the one that whispers, you know, what if I'm not really good enough? What if what they think about me is wrong, right? What if I've given them this impression, this grand impression, that I'm so cool and I'm so great, and then I get in front of the room and I bomb it and they're bored, right? No one's sleeping yet, so we're okay so far, but like, you never know, okay? And it's not just you, because imposter syndrome doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't care how capable you are. It doesn't care how prepared you are, how long you've been in the game. It doesn't matter how big your calling is. In fact, the closer you get to living in your purpose and your calling, the louder it gets. I've built platforms, I've led teams, I've coached leaders, I've spoken on stage, and I've helped people step into their next calling, and I've still asked myself, was I really the person that was supposed to lead them? I kept thinking confidence would come and I'd have more success. You know, when I'd get more confidence when I had more success, when I had more proof, when I had validation. Okay, but the truth is, confidence doesn't come when you feel ready. Confidence comes when you decide to show up anyway. Okay, and so you don't have to overcome imposter syndrome by waiting for the fear to leave. You just have to, you just have to overcome it by walking in the truth. Here's what imposter syndrome sounds like. You're not qualified. Someone else could say it better. You're just faking it. You're not ready. And sometimes it doesn't even use words. Sometimes it just shows up in pressure. Pressure to prove yourself, pressure to over-deliver, pressure to shrink your brilliance so you don't make anyone uncomfortable. How many of you have been in a room where you just knew you were the, can I cuss? Shit, right? Like you knew, I'm the best tattoo artist in this room. I'm the best person to speak to these people. I'm the best person to host a party bus. I'm picking one of your endeavors. I'm the best person to show up and speak light into these people. I'm the best person to talk to someone about law. I'm the best person to do all the things. And at the end of the day, you were like, I'm all right. I'm pretty good at what I do. Right? You shrink yourself down. Okay? That's imposter syndrome, and it's heavy and it's common. But that doesn't mean that it's true. It also shows up, you know, and we have to go deeper because we have to go into more than your thoughts because it comes into your decisions, right? It shows up in overthinking every post, every pitch, every product launch, every piece of content, every meeting you have. It goes in avoiding visibility or shrinking back because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you. Do I host events like this when only a few people show up right away? Do I do it and quit after 2 times if I don't have a whole building full? Right? You just show up. You show up anyway. Procrastination on, procrastination on like launching a business because you don't feel ready. The truth is you never feel ready and you never feel the full extent of the support until you put the work in and you show up and then people show up for you. Downplaying your accomplishments so you don't seem like too much. I'm okay at what I do, I guess. You know? Comparing your journey to people who aren't even called to do the same thing as you. That one. Comparing my journey to someone that's not even on the same damn path. They're not even going the way I am. And it's not just a mindset issue, it's an identity attack. Imposter syndrome is not just insecurity. It's a war for your identity. And it loves to wear the mask of humility. You'll hear it say, I don't want the spotlight. I'm just being low key. But sometimes what we call humility is really just fear in disguise. Let me be clear. There's a difference between humility and hiding. God didn't call you to shrink. He called you to lead. And you're not doing anyone any favors if you're playing it small. Now let's talk about how imposter syndrome shows up in your business, because I see this all the time. It shows up and it sounds like undercharging for your services. Been there, done that. It sounds like avoiding making offers or going live or being seen at all, going to vendor events, going to different places where I can connect with other people who do what I do, maybe have been in the industry longer. It shows up in form of intimidation. Spending months of perfecting instead of launching, so you're overthinking your content, your busy work instead of bold moves. That busy work happens a lot in the 2X. You think you're doing so much, and then all of a sudden you realize, I'm just busy. I'm not being productive at all. I went out and I talked to a handful of people, or I talk a lot about doom scroll, because I work with a lot of people who build their businesses online. And a lot of people get stuck in the doom scroll and they go, oh, I'm just researching. And it's like, yeah, you're not researching, you're stuck in a doom scroll and you're losing. You're losing hours, you're losing time. It also comes in downplaying your value, saying things like, would they even listen to me? I've spoken in a lot of rooms, a lot of places, to a lot of people, and everyone seems to listen. I might not be very, very interesting to everyone, but I show up. And the truth is it's really not a strategy problem. It's a mindset problem. You don't need more templates. You need to trust your voice. You don't need better sales script. You need to stop disqualifying yourself before the sale even happens. Well, that showed up interesting. Okay, I never do slideshows either. I thanked him for challenging me because I was like, I never do these. That's why I'm on like notes. I usually just get up and start talking. we end when I'm done. Okay, so let's rewrite the script. The lie says, I'm not ready. But the truth says, I'm being equipped as I move. The lie says, I don't belong. But the truth says, I was sent here for a reason. The lie says, I'm not qualified. But the truth is, God has already qualified me. When imposter syndrome shows up, don't just rehearse it or rehearse the fear. Replace it with the truth. You like this? ChatGPT. I love it. I know.
I was thinking about tattoo now.
Right?
Instantly, I'm like,
Hey, my friend, I own the copyright to this. I own the copyright. We can talk about it.
different
We can talk
colors.
about it.
Different shape brain or
It's cool, right? But hey, the thing is
It's awesome.
thank you. This is from my new book that's coming out, Mastering the Mindset.
That's cool.
So there's 3 ways that I have found to break free and keep walking even when the thoughts don't stop. Okay, so one of those ways is to call it out loud. Acknowledge and verbalize those falsehoods. Silence keeps imposter syndrome powerful. Say it out loud. That's a lie, I belong in this room. So today we're going to say it out loud. That's a lie, I belong in this room. And now you're going to say it. That's a lie.
I belong in this room.
Okay. Number 2 is root your identity in truth. Anchor yourself in unchanging truth. Your value doesn't come from your performance, it comes from who you are and whose you are. Lastly, choose aligned action anyway. Act in alignment with your purpose despite fears. Stop waiting to feel confident. Show up in agreement with your assignment because confidence grows in the doing. P.S. It would make a really cool test.
It's yours, so you don't have to do it.
So here's the new thought on choosing. I'm not perfect, but I'm positioned. Say that with me. I'm not perfect, but I'm positioned. I don't need permission to walk in purpose.
I don't need permission to walk in
I knew you
purpose.
guys would figure it out. Anyway, I don't know what happened here either. Imposter syndrome doesn't get the final word. I don't know what this is. Imposter syndrome doesn't get the final word. These aren't affirmations for your mirror, okay? These are declarations in your mind. They're the truth. And if you let them, they're going to shift how you move. Okay? This said something really cool, but now I forgot. Before I broke through this, though, this is where my mind was. I was held back. I was an over-explainer. I questioned everything. I questioned myself more than I questioned anything. Okay? And since, breaking through this now, I show up fully. I own my space. I stopped apologizing for who I am. I showed up like this, right? I asked Brent, I said, what's the dress code? He told me banana suit, I only had oranges. So, but when he said no blazer, I thought, I go to a lot of places where I got a blazer up and I never feel like myself. This is me, And when I learned to just let that all go aside, I stopped worrying about what my face looks like. I stopped worrying about what my body looks like. I stopped worrying about what my mouth sounds like. And I just started showing up equipped because my whole experience in life and yours, every experience you've ever gone through, everything you do in life, you've been equipped to do up to this point now, right? Your stories aren't yours. They're for other people. Your success is not yours. It's for other people. And so I show up fully. The difference was not my resume. The difference was my mindset. And everything changed when I stopped waiting to feel ready. So let me be real, because this still tries to come back to me, okay? I'm really proud of this, by the way. I made this slideshow. Okay. I remember one day I had coached someone, and we got to full breakthrough. We were on a phone call. We got full breakthrough. And it was minutes after that call, I went, did I even do what I was supposed to do in that call? I literally questioned myself. This person hit full breakthrough, success. If you've ever coached or mentored someone, we got to a point where I was like, all the boxes have been checked. And I still left that conversation going, am I even qualified to do this? And that's how sneaky imposter syndrome is. But I had to decide. I'm not leading based on what I feel. I'm leading based on what I know. None of you are showing up in your business because you feel like you want to do this. You're showing up to your business because you know you're qualified to do this. Okay, you may not know all the details and all the ways to build that, but that's why you align with partnerships that help you grow, right? That's why groups like this are so special and important, because all of us have something to gain from each of us, each of our experiences. But I decide, like I said, I'm not based on that I feel this way. I'm doing this because I know this. And I know I was called to do that. I know I'm called to do what I do right now. And you have to believe that you've been called to do what you're doing. All right, so this is to the leaders, to the coaches, to the coaches, to the entrepreneurs, to the builders. You do not need a bigger audience to walk in authority. You do not need a fancier brand to lead. You do not need to wait to be picked. You need to lead now. You need to move like it's already yours. You need to take up space like it was meant for you, because it was. Okay? So let me close with this. You don't need permission to be who you already are. You don't have to shrink to make others feel comfortable. In fact, sometimes it's good to be the person who knows everything in the room. You have a lot of value you can add to other people. You don't have to wait for more proof to believe what God has already confirmed for you. You belong in the room, not someday, not when you feel ready. You belong right now. Can I hear I belong in the room?
I belong in the room.
Good. All right, well, thank you guys so much for having me speak. I don't know if I took up 20 minutes or not, but if this stirred up something in you, let it take root, because this needs to be your new standard. And whether or not we cross paths again, which I'd totally come back to something like this, let's build it, right? Let's do this together, okay? Or not. I just want you to remember to keep showing up, keep walking boldly. Oops, I did this, that's my bad. Walk boldly, and know that you are already enough. And then this is my newest book launch through Red Horse Publishing, who is a little shy to say what he does. My husband and I co-founded a publishing company that we work through together, and it's our legacy brand that we build together to help other people figure out their stories, to help authors have royalty-free publishing, and to help business owners and people in general just like build their brand. But my most recent work is Mastering the Mindset, Conquer Imposter Syndrome and Unlock Your Confidence and Purpose. I know this is super cute, but it is for men and women. And it really was a joy to write for me. It was a healing process to write for me. I learned a lot about myself through this, and I learned and grew a lot more confidence for myself. So this is the 3-book combo. It's the book, the workbook, which really makes you dive deep into what you need to overcome so you can step fully into your shoes, and then the companion journal if you want to go real deep into it. But this is a pre-release right now in a special offer because it's not actually launching or published. What's the word?
It's not released until
May 2025 this year. But yeah, so thank you, and that's what we got for imposter syndrome. And my encouragement to you is just to show up as you are. You already know that this is what you want to do, and if you're not sure about that in your business, like you really have to like take that and meditate on that a little while, pray on that a little while, journal about it, figure it out, because if you're not confident in the sense of like, this is what I want to do, you don't have to be confident in the action, right? The action, like I always say, you do not need to be an expert. A lot of success comes through consistency. It really does. Just showing up, okay? And doing that work, and a lot of the behind the scenes work. Like you mentioned, you're early on in your in tattooing. Like so do you have a shop? You have a shop, right?
I do, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So just like being early on in that and just knowing, like pounding the pavement, getting your voice out there, getting your stuff, and getting some, you want a tattoo? Okay.
Sorry.
This is never the beginning, but I have room. But let this be a reminder, right? Though, like I love that you said you tattoo it, because I'm like working on a theory right now too. I had read a book that's it's called Let Them Theory, and it was so good. It was so good. You've read it? Okay. Yeah, and that for me was like, I'll let you all. I'm gonna walk in life. I'm gonna do what I need to do. But yeah, I love it. So thank you so much. That's what I got.